Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforLove.com. We recently surveyed a lot of the members of our GPS for Love community, asking what is it that you're currently struggling with? What is it that you need some help and advice with? And one of the questions that came up a lot was, about how to improve your relationship. What are the things, what are the strategies, what are the skills that you can acquire to greatly increase your chances of having that long-lasting relationship? So what I decided today is to actually create a video which specifically address that. What are the things that you can do to greatly increase your chances of having a great long-lasting relationship? So I'm going to give you three. Okay. So the first one, and this is kind of obvious, is you need to pick the right partner. Now I know it sounds like common sense, but you'd be amazed at how many times people jump into relationships or stay in relationships when it's clear that the guy isn't the right partner. See, just because a guy's really cute, just because you have some things in common, just because he's an amazing lover, doesn't mean that he's going to be a great life partner. See, the way I kind of look at it is you have to look at it going into the relationship business. So imagine you're looking for a relationship partner. Okay. If you're going to start a business, you got to make sure that this partner is well qualified to be the partner that you need to help that business succeed. Now, just because he was nice, just because he had certain qualities, doesn't mean that he's going to be the partner that you need. And it kind of works the same way. So you got to, from the beginning, is make sure that you pick the right partner. And that's why it's really important to date someone for a little while before you jump into a relationship and you jump into bed. So that's the first step. The second step, and this is probably the most vital, this is where you need to constantly check in with each other. I look at my relationship with my wife and say, okay, why is it after 16 years that, we keep getting stronger, our love keeps growing, and our relationship keeps getting better, no matter what life throws at us? And I really think it comes down to this one thing, and that's our ability to constantly check in with each other. I mean, there's not a day that goes by where we don't sit down and it's like, okay, what's going on? Where's your head at today? Is there anything you're struggling? Is there anything you need help with? And we're constantly having like little business meetings where we're checking in on our lives and our relationships, because it's so easy. When you have family, when you have responsibilities, you have jobs, you have kids, it's so easy to get lost in the shuffle and to not communicate. And then those things that you should be addressing aren't addressed, and they just build until they become these huge problems. So I'm a big believer, if you get to a challenge, you get to a problem in the beginning stages and you address it and you resolve it, it never blows up into something that could ultimately destroy your relationship. And I see that's one of the biggest problems that people have, is they get so caught up in life that they forget to constantly check in, and these things just build, and they're not communicating, and then poof, it just all explodes. So you've got to be able to constantly check in with each other. And the third one, and this is important as well, is that you need to make sure that your needs are being met, especially outside the relationship. One of the biggest challenges when people get involved and they jump into a relationship, they make each other their lives. And it's like they forget their friends, they forget their outside interests, the things that they love to do. And now their source of happiness becomes this person. And no one person, even your husband or your wife, needs to be the source of your happiness. One of the things that makes a relationship stronger, and I think one of the things that works in our relationship as well, is we have outside interests. We have things that we like to do on our own. And because we do that, that makes us happy. And so now, because we're getting our needs met outside the relationship, now we can come into the relationship and show up as true life partners. So it's really important that you have a life outside of the relationship. And I know it's, in the beginning, it's okay. You get caught up in the excitement that you forget to do those things. But it's really important that you get back to doing those things, because that's a source of your happiness. Because you can be in a relationship and make this person your life, but if you're not getting those things met outside the relationship, ultimately it's going to become a huge problem, and you're going to wind up resenting that person. So those are the three tips. Okay. If you really want to have a long-lasting relationship, I really recommend that you do these three things. Now, here's your homework, because you always get some. It's mirror time. I want you to take a step back, look at your life, look at your last relationship, look at your series of relationships, and see which of these three steps were missing for you. Okay. What you could have done a little differently as an individual and as a couple. And more importantly, what are the changes that you need to make going forward? You know, the past is never a mistake if you learn from it. I call it an expensive learning lesson. So look at your past, learn from it, and see what you can do differently, see what changes you need to make so that you can ultimately have that relationship that does last, the kind you desire and deserve. So after you take your mirror time, I want you to go ahead and put your questions, comments, and feedback about lasting relationships and what you've learned from this video and how it's going to help you as you go forward. As always, an honor, privilege. I'll see you next time. Much love.